Outlander devotees, the awaited hour has dawned. After seasons replete with unforgettable escapades, deeply stirring romances, profound heartaches, and stunning reunions, Season 8 heralds the grand finale of Jamie and Claire Fraser's incredible saga. But let it be known, this is more than a fusion. It is the zenith of a love affair that bent the very rules of time, from Scotland's wind-swept moors to the war-ravaged landscapes of colonial America. The Frasers have faced down every challenge the ages hurled their way: conflicts, separations, betrayals, and the unyielding hand of fate. As this ultimate act commences, the past and the future collide with unprecedented intensity. Time is no longer a simple strand. They are enmeshed within its intricate weave. In this final confrontation, Jamie and Claire strive for something beyond mere existence. They contend for their heritage, their kin, for the generations they've influenced, and those still to arrive. Old adversaries reappear. Trusted companions grapple with dire decisions, and just when it seems they have weathered every storm, destiny unleashes its most savage ordeals. Will their affection, a love that has traversed continents, eras, and the threshold of life and death itself, prove resilient enough to withstand this ultimate tempest? Or will the accumulated toll of their odyssey finally exact its price? Brace yourselves for a conclusion that will shatter your heart, only to piece it back together again. Awe-inspiring stakes, poignant adieus, and moments of profound spiritual victory. Outlander Season 8 is more than the termination of a cherished series. It is the genesis of a legacy that will resonate across time. The tale may be drawing to a close, but the legend of Jamie and Claire is only just taking flight. For more than a decade, Outlander has whisked us across epochs, landmasses, and the powerful tides of a love that defies temporal laws. Now the narrative that has captivated minds and stirred innumerable souls approaches its much-anticipated zenith. Season 8 is not simply an ending, is a final accounting, the concluding part of Jamie and Claire Fraser's extraordinary chronicle, unfolds like the closing scene of an ageless epic, one shaped by ardor, conflict, forfeiture, and the relentless magnetism of destiny. From Scotland's mist-shrouded highlands to the blood-soaked earth of emerging America, the Frasers have etched their mark throughout history. But as ominous clouds convene once more, they confront their most formidable trial, yet safeguarding a future for their family in a world unwilling to relinquish the phantoms of its past. As the twilight of an age descends, old scratch their way back from oblivion. Long-forgotten feuds re-emerge, delicate allegiances fray, and the tenuous semblance of tranquility at Fraser's Ridge is demolished. The drums of conflict thunder anew, and at the nucleus of the turmoil stands a love that has endured revolutions, temporal rifts, the harshness of fate. Jamie and Claire's connection, scarred, hallowed, and fiercely resolute, becomes the ultimate guiding light in a world succumbing to shadow. Yet even the brightest flame casts its umbra. Claire is tormented by premonitions of her own demise, drawn towards an ancient indigenous relic that might unlock the enigma of time travel and the destiny of the Fraser lineage. Her fixation threatens to engulf her, just as rumors of a concealed gateway surface, one that could offer salvation or utter ruin. Simultaneously, a calamitous message is delivered. Jamie's son, William, has been apprehended on suspicion of treachery. Confronted with an agonizing choice between kinship and obligation, Jamie is drawn towards the past. He believed he had escaped. Meanwhile, Brianna and Roger face their own critical juncture, compelled to choose whether to risk remaining in a war-torn 18th century or to venture back to the unknown perils of the future for their children's welfare. And as if the circumstances were not already soul-destroying, a specter presumed long gone reappears. Lionel Brown, seemingly resurrected and more menacing than ever, leads a British-supported militia consumed by a desire for retribution. With Fraser's Ridge in their sights and treachery hiding among familiar faces, the Frasers must summon every last bit of fortitude, every fragment of loyalty, to endure the impending inferno. Even allies find themselves conflicted. Lord John Grey returns, caught between his allegiance to the crown and his steadfast bond with Jamie, and William's secrets are exposed. Truths inflict deep wounds, and even the trust between Jamie and Claire is strained to its limit as everything they have constructed stands on the verge of ruin. Season 8 is a deep contemplation on heritage, bereavement, the timeless battle between destiny and personal choice. It poses the most agonizing question of all: what must be relinquished to ensure your story endures? As history and myth intertwine, the Frasers stand upon the precipice of eternity, where love alone may not suffice to preserve the future. Not merely the conclusion of a treasured series, it is the final pulsation of a legend, one ultimate battle, one ultimate love, one indelible goodbye. Far into the future, an adult, Mandy McCormick, discovers Claire's concealed diaries in a Scottish manor. What she uncovers alters everything. Pulled into a puzzle she scarcely comprehends, Mandy starts to untangle the skeins of her family's time-traversing inheritance. Her pursuit mirrors Claire's own drawing her toward the past, and a revelation that could reshape her very being. Jamie's quest to liberate William becomes a harsh trial, forcing both men to confront years of alienation, sorrow, and difficult realities. William, renouncing his British peerage, opts to champion the American cause, carving his own niche within the Fraser legacy, but at a profound personal toll. Back at the Ridge, Claire's condition deteriorates, her visions grow more vivid, imparts a final chilling insight to Roger. The artifact she pursues is more than a mere portal, it is a headstone marking the final resting place of a time traveler who perished to seal a fissure in time. Claire becomes certain she is fated to do likewise. Jamie, faced with the unimaginable, must whether to allow history to take its course or gamble everything to alter it. As conflict erupts around them, Fraser's Ridge transforms into a stronghold, a haven, and ultimately a battleground. In a final stand against Lionel Brown's contingent, the Frasers and their community fight not merely for existence, but for the very essence of their narrative. In a concurrent timeline, Mandy passes through the stones, guided by the spirits of her forebears and assisted by a youthful Ian Murray. Their rapport suggests new beginnings, even as one era concludes. This is not simply an end, it is a torch, relayed, a legacy blazing more brilliantly than ever before. As affection is challenged, time contorts, and history exacts its due. The saga of Jamie and Claire, Fraser, hurtles toward its stunning finale. The season's pinnacle occurs as Claire's vision materializes. She is critically injured. Jamie, in combat, he transports her to the cavern, where the artifact hums with power. Claire maintains her death will seal the temporal breach, but Jamie will not relinquish her. Mandy arrives, led by Ian, and discloses that Claire's sacrifice is not a termination, but a transfer of energy. In a poignant sequence, Claire's life essence merges with the artifact, closing the fissure, but leaving her physical form behind. Desolate, Jamie pledges to honor their legacy. William dispatches Lionel Brown, terminating his tyrannical reign, while Brianna and Roger opt to stay in the past. Mandy goes back to her own time, bearing Claire's medical implements and a letter for succeeding generations. The narrative completes its cycle in 2023, as an elderly Mandy unveils a memorial in Scotland to commemorate Claire's life. As the soft sigh of her breath blends with the breeze, she deposits Claire's instruments in a museum, emblems of a life that surpassed time itself. In that hallowed instant, a spectral image of Jamie materializes, beside her a smile that mirrors the love they once knew. Their wedding vows echo softly, ageless and unending, as the camera focuses on their graves at Fraser's Ridge, adorned with wild flowers, a monument to a love that never wanes. The concluding image lingers on the luminous artifacts, gleaming with the essence of their heritage, as if the spirit of the Frasers themselves continues to illuminate the path ahead. The Fraser legacy in Outlander Season 8, simple chronicle, it is an indomitable energy that spans epochs, continents, and the furthest reaches of time. It is the conflagration sparked by Jamie and Claire, Fraser, a love conceived in war, bereavement, and the improbable joining of a Highland warrior and a time-traveling physician. What commenced as a tale of two souls united against all probability has transformed into an abiding testament to fortitude, sacrifice, and the capacity of love to mold the world. Rooted in more than mere ancestry, the Fraser legacy expands through chosen kin, unbreakable connections, and the ardent dedication of those who stand united when the world comes apart. This legacy is not solely recorded in names and dates. It thrives in quiet acts of valor, in sacrifices made without acknowledgement, and in the unwavering conviction that love above all else must transcend time. At the heart of this heritage are Jamie and Claire's descendants, each carrying a fragment of their essence onward. William Ransom, once a privileged British noble, now embodies internal conflict and steadfast bravery. His decision to relinquish his title and fight for the American cause is a potent embodiment of the Fraser ethos. Honor is not conferred by birth, but earned through the decisions we make. Brianna and Roger McCoynick, Jamie and Claire's cherished daughter and son-in-law, elect to remain in the dangerous past rather than retreat to the comforts of the contemporary world. Their choice is an act of unwavering commitment, history to family, and to the future. Their offspring Jimmy and Mandy inherit much more than a time-traveling predisposition. They inherit the Fraser spirit. Mandy, now an inquisitive young woman, in the 1980s, unearthed Claire's journals in an old Scottish residence. As she reveals the secrets held within these hallowed pages, she discovers the keys to a destiny that could alter the trajectory of her life and the very structure of time itself. Mandy's path mirrors Claire's own, one defined by wonder, apprehension, and fierce courage, as she is pulled into the past, guided by the unbreakable legacy of her ancestors, and with the steadfast backing of young Ian Murray, whose fidelity demonstrates that family is built not just by blood, but by bond. Mandy's story is both a reflection and a continuation of what preceded it. Sacrifice flows like a current through every part of the Fraser epic. In the final act of her existence, Claire offers herself to safeguard the future of her family. Her essence melds with the very artifact she has dedicated decades to studying, sealing the temporal breach and cementing her role as both healer and guardian of time. Her demise is not a conclusion, it is a transcendence, final act of devotion that echoes through the lives of all her descendants. Jamie, heartbroken yet steadfast, becomes the personification of Trech, the Gaelic spirit, of relentless dedication to what truly matters. He stands as the custodian of Claire's memory and the guardian of their shared legacy, enduring as the world around him alters forever, holding aloft the torch of their love and sacrifices. The effects of their choices ripple through history. The defense of Fraser's Ridge during the War of 1812 becomes a crucial juncture in America's own narrative, an unrecorded chapter shaped by Fraser's spirit. Claire's 20th century medical expertise, preserved through her journals and surgical instruments, inspires future generations, and Mandy, now a historian, immersed in the teachings of time and love, will ensure that the Fraser voices never diminish, carrying their legacy onward for all to recall in their wake. Culture and identity prosper. The Frasers, through banishment and turmoil, preserve the very soul of Scottish heritage in the New World, honoring the Jacobite spirit, the Gaelic customs, and the essence of the Highlands. William's personal journey, torn between his British aristocracy and his Highland ancestry, becomes a universal quest for identity, reminding us that legacy is claimed not by name alone, but by the beliefs that define us. Love and time are the foundational pillars of the Fraser tale. Their ardor defies death itself, culminating in a preternatural reunion that blurs the distinction between this existence and the next. An enigmatic stone carving of a woman with a surgeon's implements, revealed to be Claire, serves as both tombstone and charm, a reminder that love, once ignited, can resonate across ages. In the year 2023, an elderly Mandy unveils a monument in Highlands, an eternal homage to Claire, Fraser, healer, warrior, and timeless soul. Jamie and Claire's graves, concealed in the tranquility of Fraser's Ridge, are more than final resting places. They are hallowed ground, nurtured by the love that molded nations and lives. Mandy's letter to her unborn children encapsulates the very essence of the Fraser legacy, We are Frasers not merely by name, but by the choices we make, to love passionately, to stand for truth, to believe that time is not an obstacle, but a conduit, and to carry our stories forward, irrespective of where they may guide us. The Fraser legacy is not a finished volume, it is a living epic, inscribed in courage, bound by love, and carried in the hearts of those who choose to remember. It persists in William's quiet fortitude, Mandy's unyielding curiosity, Brianna's fierce determination, and the enduring spirit of Jamie and Claire, two souls linked not just by time, but by eternity. As the final season concludes, the legacy whispers that love, like time, is without limit. It flexes, shatters, and reconstructs, but never truly ceases. The concluding moments of Outlander Season 8 unfurl with a gentle, sorrowful beauty, intertwining centuries of love, loss, and fortitude into a single enduring truth. As Jamie holds Claire's lifeless form in the ancient Appalachian cavern, the artifact's glow diminishes, sealing the temporal breach, and with it the portal to the past. The ridge, scarred by conflict but still standing, becomes a mute observer of Fraser's final chapter. Jamie enters Claire, beneath a copse of white pines, her grave marked not by stone, but by the surgical tools she transported across time. He lives out his remaining years as a protector of their heritage, tending to the land and the narratives of those they cherished. Years later, as an elderly man, he lies down beneath the same trees, clutching her faded shawl, and closes his eyes one final time. The wind rustles the leaves, and for an instant, Claire's laughter echoes, a whisper of reunion. Beyond the veil, in the 1980s, Mandy McCormick publishes Claire's journals disclosing her grandmother's journey as a healer, a time traveler, and a woman who reshaped history's periphery. The book achieves global acclaim, but Mandy guards one secret: the carved stone artifact, now inert, concealed in a vault beneath the Scottish estate, where her own journey commenced. The series' ultimate scene returns to Fraser's Ridge. In 1833, Brianna and Roger, their hair touched with silver, gather their grandchildren around a hearth. Jimmy strums a lute, performing a Gaelic ballad Jamie once taught him, while Mandy's children play near Claire's overgrown grave. The camera lingers on the carving, now partially obscured by moss, its surface faintly aglow. The final episode unfolds like a hushed blessing, weaving together strands of love, loss, and immortality. On Fraser's Ridge, autumn leaves descend softly over Claire's grave, marked not by stone, but by her time-worn surgical kit, and a solitary white rose, Jamie's ultimate pledge. Though his hair is silver and his posture stooped by age, Jamie sits beside her resting place, a journal open in his hands. He reads aloud Claire's final entry, her words resonating across the valley. To love is to imprint your soul upon the world. Time may take us, but it cannot sever our bonds. As the sun sinks below the horizon, Jamie's breathing slows, his hand touches the rose, and a gentle smile appears on his face. The wind carries the fragrance of lavender. Claire's presence, as his eyes close, the screen darkens, and for a fleeting instant, they reappear, youth again, standing hand in hand on the cliffs of Cray Nabdun, their laughter blending with the ocean's roar. Decades later, in 1985, an elderly Mandy McCormick enters a serene Scottish museum, her granddaughter by her side. They stop before a new installation, Claire Beauchamp, Fraser Healer, Across Time. The surrounding walls seem to vibrate with the weight of history. Under the soft illumination of museum lights, Claire's journals are exhibited with reverence, her surgical tools, symbols of a legacy of healing, resting beneath glass, and there among them all is the ancient stone carving, its luminescence now dim, but still pulsating with the mysteries of time. With unsteady hands, Mandy places a letter atop the display, a note that Claire herself penned the night before the ultimate battle. The words inscribed in Claire's script are both a farewell and a promise. You will carry our story forward, no fear, for I know you will be the keeper of our memories, just as you have always been. Time may change, but love will endure always.